Huh?
I think that's just a normal thing now. They don't even do it for birthdays.
It's a normal thing to do what?
Go out and get drunk.
Oh, well, yeah, because there's no culture. But I mean, that has become the norm because the norm nowadays is adharma. So people have to come to India to find out what is dharma. Yeah, whenever we have the class, sometimes like you're doing, just so that people know where we are and who's here. Yeah. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Gaura Pimanandi. Dang Vishupad Paramahamsa. Pri Vradikacharya Stotra Satta Sri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Shirabai Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki, Skanda Biti, Founder Acharyas Divine Grace Sri Prabhupada Ki, Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki, Samavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Harinama Sankirtan Ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki, 90 Gaura Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. From Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. He will say. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Cham Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutidevi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesha badreshu
Nashtopraisha Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Utamashloke
Bhagavati Tamasloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishti.
By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed or practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Idam Bhagavatam Namaha
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Puranam Brahmasamhitam
Uttama Charitam
Uttamasloke Charitam
Sakara Bhagavan Rishi
Sakaro Bhagavan Rishi
Nishreyasaya Lokasya
Nisheshaya Lokesha
Dhanyam Swasayanam Mahat.
Dhanam Sasanam.
This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna
Prabhu
Chaitanya
Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Advaita
Sri
Gadadhara,
Advaita Gadadhar
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda.
Srivasadi Gaur
Hare
Bhaktavinda.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Sarabhyai
Om
Namaha.
Surabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sarabhyai
Om
Namaha.
Surabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sarabhyai
Om
Namaha.
Surabhyaya Namaha.
Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yadkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Yadkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class, continuing from first canto, chapter 6, entitled Conversation between Narada and Vyasa. Today's text number 18, huh? 1-8, yeah. Rupam Bhagavato Yat Tan Manaha Kantam Suchapaham Apashyam Sahasotaste Vaiklavyad Durmana Iva Rupam Bhagavato Yat Tan
Rupam Bhagavato Yattam
Manakantam Suchapaham
Manakantam Suchabham
Apasyan Sahasotaste
Apashyam Sahasotaste
Vaiklavyad Durmana Iva
Vaiklavya Durmaiva
Rupam Bhagavato Yat Tan
Rupam Bhagavato Yattam
Manakantam Suchapaham
Manakantam Suchabham
Apasyan Sahasotaste
Apashyam Sahasotaste
Vaiklavyad Durmana Iva
Vaiklavya Durmaiva
Rupam Bhagavato Yat Tan
Rupam Bhagavato yattan
Manakantam Suchapaham
manakantam suchapaham
Apasyan Sahato Taste
apashyan sahasaste
Vaiklavyad Dhurmana Iva
Rupam Bhagavato Yattan
Rupam Bhagavato Yattan
Mana Kantam Suchapaham
Manakantam Suchapaham
Apasyan Sahasutaste
Apasyan Sahato Taste
Vaikyavya Durmana Iva
Vaiklavyad Dhurmana Iva
Rupam Bhagavato Yattan
Rupam Bhagavato Yattan
Manakantam Suchapaham
Manakantam Suchapaham
Apashyan Sahasotaste
Apasyan Sahato Taste
Vaiklavya Durmanaiva
Vaiklavyad Dhurmana Iva
Rupam Bhagavato Yattan
Rupam Bhagavato Yattan
Manah Kantam Suchapaham
Manakantam Suchapaham
Apashyam Sahasto Taste
Apashyam Sahaso Taste
Vaiklavya Durmana Iva
Vaiklavyad Dhurmana Iva Rupam
Rupam
form Bhagavataha
Bhagavataha
of the personality of Godhead, yet as it is, tat that, manaha of the mind, kantam as it desires, sucha apaham vanishing all disparity, apasyan without seeing, sahasa all of a sudden, utaste got up, vaiklavyat being perturbed, durmanaha having lost the desirable, iva as it were. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The transcendental form of the Lord as it is satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when one loses that which is desirable. Kindly repeat after me. The transcendental form of the Lord, as it is, satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when one loses that which is desirable. Purport. That the Lord is not formless is experienced by Narada Muni. But his form is completely different from all forms of our material experience. For the whole duration of our life, we go see different forms in the material world, but none of them is just apt to satisfy the mind, nor can any one of them vanish all perturbance of the mind. These are the special features of the transcendental form of the Lord. And one who has once seen that form is not satisfied with anything else. No form in the material world can any longer satisfy the seer. That the Lord is formless or impersonal means that he has nothing like a material form and is not like any material personality. As spiritual beings having eternal relations with that transcendental form of the Lord, we are, life after life, searching after that form of the Lord, and we are not satisfied by any other form of material appeasement. Narada Muni got a glimpse of this, but having not seen it again, he became perturbed and stood up all of a sudden to search it out. What we desire life after life was obtained by Narada Muni, and losing sight of him again was certainly a great shock for him. Translation again. The transcendental form of the Lord, as it is, satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when one loses that which is desirable. So surely Narada Muni is not making up a story here. He is in a very sober, serious discussion with Srila Vyasadeva and sharing his personal experience of having actually had darshan of the Lord. There are many similar experiences shared by other personalities. So, of course, uh, this immediately establishes the fact that the Lord has a form, uh, but that form is totally different from any material form we may experience in the material world. And Prabhupada is, of course, reminding us that all of us, since a very, very long time, we are actually searching for that form of the Lord. We're searching for that that experience which is making us, making us lose all attraction for other forms in the material world. Param dristva nivartate. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains how one who is fortunate to uh, to acquire this transcendental knowledge and to realize um, the the subject matter, and the very confidential subject matter which is being narrated in such literatures as Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Once having um, we could say tasted that nectar. That's why it's called the nectar of devotion. The nectar of devotion. Bhakti rasa amrita sindhu. It is something that is completely different from ordinary mundane experiences. Not everyone, actually it's very rare to get this kind of experience, but there are sufficient, there's sufficient, we could say, evidence um, from various literatures and various personalities. And even though we may not get this kind of very rare experience, all of us have the opportunity to understand or to experience mm, what is uh, bhakti or devotional service. Um, so, in the same way that the transcendental form of the Lord is totally beyond anything material, bhakti, which is actually non-different from Krishna, when we actually enter into the realm of bhakti. Of course, there are different levels that are there. We've been discussing in the last few days how in the few verses before here there was reference to bhava, there was reference to prema, and of course these are the very exalted and very advanced levels of bhakti. um, that's nicely explained actually by Sri Rupa Goswami, that when one engages, is fortunate to engage in activities of bhakti, uh, what is one of the symptoms of being engaged in bhakti? The very beginning explanation in the Nectar Devotion brings immediate relief from all material distress. Actually, it's like when we come in contact with this knowledge of Krishna consciousness, even though we may not have this kind of experience that Narada Muni has, we begin to get glimpses of something that is totally different from um, our material experiences. And the more we actually um, engage in such activities, the more we the more we get glimpses actually of this uh, transcendental level. That is the meaning of that's in the beginning also the Bhagavatam. Um, Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam, Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam, that even without seeing, without having this kind of very, very rare experience, the Lord reveals Himself to those who are actually putting into practice nicely the process of devotional service. And of course, it is something that each and every individual devotee can experience. That's also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. What is that term? In the ninth chapter, the cultivation of this knowledge, Raja Vidya, king of knowledge. Raja Vidya, Rajaguyam, Pavitram, Idam, Uttamam. So it's Pavitram, the purest, and Uttamam, highest. Pratyakshavagamam dharmyam. Pratyaksha means, what is meaning of pratyaksha? Yes, direct experience. Direct experience. One can directly experience the the effect of actually putting into practice this process of devotional service. Susukam kartama vyayam. It brings satisfaction. So that's why the devotees of the Lord, as we get more and more glimpses of this transcendental realm, then naturally we lose more and more attraction to what is called ephemeral, what is temporary. Or as Prabhupada in one of his nice articles in the Back to Godhead magazine that he entitled Liquid Beauty. You remember that? You know what is liquid beauty? Liquid beauty. You've not been reading Back to Godhead.
He's too young.
Liquid beauty. There was one young man, once upon a time, there was one young man who, while traveling, came across a very young, attractive, beautiful young lady. And naturally, he became attracted. Beauty attracts. We're all attracted by beauty. So he approached her, and he inquired from her, and after some discussion, expressed that I'd like to marry you. So then she responded by saying, "You come back after 1 week." I remember the story now. So there's the expression, beauty is, what is it? Skin deep. The skin is very thin, isn't it? Little scratch, immediately the blood comes out. Skin deep. So this kind of attraction, this kind of beauty is is not satisfying. All of us, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport, since time immemorial, actually, we are looking for what is actually permanently satisfying to the soul, and actually until the living entity again comes in contact with that original reality, ultimately until one comes in contact with Krishna. That's a special and unique feature of Krishna consciousness. One can never be satisfied by any kind of material form or material activity, which is flawed in so many ways and temporary as well. So just for a very short time, Narada had this, could say, vision. He actually he was meditating on the Lord, and the Lord appeared before him. It's like, and then, but only for a short time, then disappeared. And of course, huh?
Skin deep darshan.
Very short darshan. And of course, that will be explained in the verses to come. Then he naturally, when you find something of value and then somehow you lose it, you, yeah,
I've experienced that in dreams before.
huh?
I've experienced that in dreams before.
You experience that in dreams. Yeah, sometimes we dream of something very wonderful, and somehow some noise or something, we wake up, and then we want to again get back to sleep to go back to the dream. um, some writers have expressed, some philosophers, that I'm looking forward to sleep because then I can experience something different than what I'm experiencing um, every day. But of course, as Prabhupada nicely explains, whether it is a night dream or daydream, it's all dream. As long as we are not reconnected uh, with the self uh, and the super self, then yeah, we are. This is the world of illusion, the world of yeah, the world of names that Prabhupada also mentions. The world of names. So that is actually for us as devotees to hear such description is very, we could say, uplifting, because we get and it's not, again, not only from one personality like Narada Muni, but we have so many such great exalted personalities who have that type of experience. So we'll continue to find out what happened, or someone has any comment or question. The floor is open.
You say this is uplifting to read. You say that it is uplifting to see.
Uplifting, yes.
This experience of Narada Muni, because that could happen for us.
Yes.
It's a lifetime suffering.
It's a lifetime suffering until we get that.
No, after we get the darshan.
Oh.
So you say that it could be, or story. Of course, I am almost 70, so it's short lifetime. But if somebody is young and get the darshan of the Lord in the same day, and then the Lord disappears.
Yes.
Sorry. But okay, if that's the way, but it's kind of it's difficult to accept that there is no other way.
The Lord does what He does. Whatever the Lord does, He does so perfectly. So yes, I think that will be coming up in the next verses. Krishna will again appear actually and just speak to Narada and to help him further increase. Yeah, so that of course touches on a major theme, major philosophical point in our Vaishnav philosophy or Vaishnav theology, that service in separation, because actually that's what Narada had, that darshan, direct darshan of the Lord. The Lord spoke to him, but he will tell him that you will not get this darshan again in this lifetime. But that is meant to serve as an impetus for uh, increasing our uh, our devotion to the Lord and because sometimes, yeah, because sometimes if one is, where was I reading? Oh, one, I think important, yeah, one of many important statements, either of Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is telling that uh, in the context of preaching, that which is touching on the whole aspect of what is it, Bhajananandi and Gostianandi. So I forget. One of them was mentioning how our 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 line, we are not inclined to just become uh, what is it, self-satisfied and experiencing transcendental bliss simply by performing our personal bhajan. There's a tendency of just, oh, I don't want to be disturbed by too many things. I just want to chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Uh, whereas the mood and mentality, especially that has been given by our acharyas, beginning from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right up until our own founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, is that devotee will happily accept various inconveniences for the matter of preaching Krishna consciousness. I mean, the prime example, of course, is Prabhupada himself. He was already there in Vrindavan. It's like, the perfection of life is to be in Vrindavan. Prabhupada left that uh, most uh, that highest realm of Vrindavan to actually introduce and give opportunity to others to know about Vrindavan. And of course, as we know, as a result, thousands and thousands of conditioned souls have gotten the opportunity. Had Prabhupada not gone to the Western countries, they would not, I mean, we would not even be sitting here also. Yes.
Just, I'm thinking that that's a big lose.
Big?
That experience when someone has some darshan and then losing it, a dream or anything, it's just,
Right.
it's not competent. We are not in the spiritual world, so, and Acharya is also losing, Lord Chaitanya losing that experience which he want to attain. So that's natural. But then Lord Chaitanya have some friends, and then that friends helps him to pacify him to go further. Otherwise, alone he could die. So devotees also, I think need such friends who can help in spiritual difficulties, not just when you have to build a house and they have brings bricks or something, but when you lose your enthusiasm or you lose your faith or you lose your experience.
Right.
But there is a rule which makes it difficult that if someone has this kind of experience, the person shouldn't share it only to the guru. So not to the friends who can help. Why is this limit of?
No, it's not that should not one should be very cautious with whom to share such type of very confidential and
Yeah,
personal subject
I,
matter.
that's I agree.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean that it can only be revealed or shared with one's guru. Uh, I mean, that's one of the important instructions in the nectar of instruction,
Yeah.
sharing one's mind with other devotees. But one has to be selective. Just like Srila Rupa Goswami also explains, yes, association of devotees is most important, but we should learn to choose
Yeah.
our
Select.
proper association, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a similar way, uh, very elevated or personal or confidential subject matters naturally will only be should only be shared with individuals with whom we establish such type of relationship. Yeah, but yeah, your point is correct. We as devotees, as we mature and advance in Krishna consciousness, fortunate are those devotees who have this kind of opportunity, and it's important also. Yeah, that's mentioned by Narottam Das Thakur. That's what the Goswamis of Vrindavan were experiencing because they were living together. They were sharing every day. They would in the afternoon they would have hours of Krishna Katha because they were all scholars. I mean, they were all I mean such elevated personalities, and they were all doing as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed them. They were reading and researching in the Shastras, and it must have been just like extraordinary, Oh, they had so many things to share. There were six of them. It's not just like one or two. There were six very committed, fully surrendered souls, very advanced, who had, mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were all there for some period of time, uh, having this kind of very intimate uh, exchange and association. And of course, all of that has been recorded in the various literatures that are coming down. Just imagine, those three young boys. They were young boys: Narottam, Shamananda, and Srinivas, and they must have been thinking, "Wow, we're here in Vrindavan. We're getting the direct association of Srila Jiva Goswami," and they must have been in total ecstasy. Then one fine day, Srila Jiva Goswami calls them, "I have something important to tell you. You have to leave Vrindavan. You have to bring all these books to the Vaishnavas in Bengal," and the whole story is there. Yesterday was one of our devotees, actually our architect for the Gita Patshala Gurukula, was having some discussion about in Vishnupur, here in Bengal, I think Bakura. You know Vishnupur? Huh? Bakura, yeah. So Vishnupur is where those literatures were found after they had been stolen. And so Vishnupur, they have a special kind of architecture using what is called terracotta. Yeah, very attractive, and actually um, it stays for quite a few hundred years. Yeah. So we're thinking of introducing some of that architecture here in our little place here. Yeah. So yeah, devotees who are on that level, therefore, when they come together, they are very eager to share and to exchange what they have understood and what they have found in their readings and whatnot. So how it's a question of how to balance both the preaching aspect and of course this whole aspect. Both need to be there. Yeah. We will keep the continuing story for tomorrow. Yeah. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Gaur Premanandi.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Radha Swami